See if anybody can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know. Gonna be on for a little while. Let's see what we got. See what we got. Trying to come back again. I ain't gonna be on for too long tonight. Had a situation. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna be on for about 40 minutes tonight. So let's see what we got. Let's see if anybody's on. What's up? What's up? I'm in here for about a half hour tonight. I gotta had some business to take care of. If you can hear me, let me know. Had some situations, so I'm just coming on for like a half. I said I'd come back today. Glad you're coming through. Well, I appreciate you letting me know. Appreciate you letting me know. And thank you. Gave you a shout out too. Appreciate you letting me know. Cause I was so ticked and I thought that was hilarious. And I said what I felt. I can't speak for other I can't speak for other content creators, but when I do my videos, I do bring the humor, but I also bring them hard, painful facts, and I can't stand Mel Kiper. You know. Oh, okay. Look at you eating good. Look at you. Look at you. Rico too. Okay. I heard about that. They got some vegetarian stuff. I've heard about that. Glad they see you too. I'm glad you're doing all right. Cheer up. What you mean cheer up? Okay. Okay, what makes you say that? The secondary. You know what? So Mel Kiper in the video that I did, he must not have watched AJ Brown get behind those Packer defenders. I know you did. He must not have watched Richardson for the Colts that first game when he threw those bombs. Kyler Murray throwing bombs. Did I miss something? Did Mel Kiper's glasses not work? Mm, did, now stop me if I'm lying, but I saw some bombs. I saw some bombs. Yeah, it's some bad situations. And you know the offensive lines are getting ate up. Quarterbacks are getting plant because uh, there's been some injuries. It is the cover two. See, they're trying to manipulate how cats are playing to sell a game. You know it's bought and paid for, and they're really trying to make it more offense, but it's more offensive. I mean, I'm watching it. I agree with you. It's some sad state of affairs, especially with the teams that aren't good. Carolina, who look like an amateur. I mean, that is some of the worst football I've ever seen. It's not just one side, it's all sides. Yeah, well, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. But see, when I did my video, I talked about Tyreek Hill with the slant. I talked about Jefferson's slant from Minnesota. I guess Mel Kiper didn't see that because they took a hitch and go on both of those, and the secondaries were playing up and they got burnt, except they didn't get burnt deep. They got burnt in the middle. Jefferson sprinted, Tyreek Hill sprinted. I'd like to see Mel Kiper with a straight face with the stuff he said. Well, you know he's young, and so you know and plus you gotta remember something. Even though he won't lose his job, I tell that turkey, take your time, but he won't listen though. And the Packers are gonna be okay. I mean, you can be okay. You might have to worry about Tampa Bay. You're gonna beat Chicago, and don't Detroit's gonna be good, but they a little bit got a hangover. So I don't know. Did you like the restaurant you were at? Hmm. What'd you drink with it? I remember some gyro places. Okay, I understand that's pretty heavy. I understand. That speaks volumes because I know a woman from my church. I'm gonna tell you a true story. She's pushing 70. She her lost her father about say 30, 40 years ago. She doesn't even drink tea because it reminds her of him. Wow. That's always tough. That showcases the class of your mom, man. That's a classic soul when people can still remember like that. Yeah. And I know what that feeling is like. It's heavy. I applaud you. And it takes a lot of strength. Yeah. Okay. Not like that turkey that just got busted for being the fake preacher or something that was associated with Trump, huh? Because Too Raw did a video on that cat. Not like Al Sharpton and not like Candace Owens. Mark Robinson. I got to do a video about old Mark Robinson tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow. There's a lot of actors involved because they get bought and paid for. I'm going to have a good time with him. I think I had touched on him, but this one going to really be funny. He better be lucky that Puffy's taking all my votes because we talk about this all the time. It don't pay to shuffle your feet and your head. It don't pay to shuffle. You do it, it don't work out good for you. It never pays. Cats try it all the time. You know what's such a trip though? Puffy's got support. Like there are people obviously clapping for his downfall, but he got support out here. That's cracks and trips me out. Day TMZ got the video of him getting arrested. You can't trust him because you do anything for $1 to make someone holler. Can't trust him. And Jennifer Lopez fits that category too. Oh yeah, you don't have to be black to fall into that category. She falls into that category. I'm with Jaguar right about her. She got some explaining to do. Man, talk about an interesting time. Yeah, well, she, you know. The thing is, I don't like to see no one get penalized or anything what they say, but she's doing too much, and I don't even know what she really do. Because if you a plant one day, you trying to act like you down the next day. They did. Candace Owens and Tiffany Haddish are like in the same boat almost. You just can't be that. You can't be that oblivious. Anybody that's checking this out, please hit the likes. Come on through. I'm here for another 40 minutes, so let's do it. The more people I see coming through, but I definitely welcome conversation. So feel free to come on through. Whatever you want to talk about tonight, if you're out there in the woods, feel free. We talking about it all tonight. Did you see why he hated on him though? So I saw the receipts from that game they played. Stockton put like 26 on him and almost had a double double, 26 and 9 or something. So that's why. He sure did. That's not bad for a stockbroker, huh? I'm gonna do a video about that, but not bad for a stockbroker. Stockton, I'm gonna tell you something about Stockton. He crazy, and as you know about the mask and everything, he made a big old stank in Gonzaga, and I looked at him crazy because he talked real deranged. I thought he was about to become like the Unabomber or something. He was talking crazy, but anyway, on the court, that was a bad dude. That dude was bad. He could have probably played the way he played textbook point guard. He could have played another 4 or 5 years easily. He's one of the few guys that I can say I ain't heard all that. Next, you're gonna tell me he's more soulful than Carl Malone, which wouldn't. If you understand backwoods and whiskey, then Carl ain't. He just country. I'll look that up. I know he always had good things to say about Jordan. I know that, but I know one thing. He lit Gilbert's behind up, which ain't saying much. I'm amazed how Gilbert Arenas has morphed into some kind of phenom his post NBA career because I don't remember him being that great when he played. He had that outer body against the Lakers, got roasted by LeBron. I still remember that game against the Wizards in the playoffs when LeBron was on the sidelines dancing and he didn't bump him and LeBron just put up a layup. And I remember what kind of defense are you playing at home? Put no defense. He just always did stupid stuff. And to be honest with you, between Gilbert Arenas and John Wall, my lines are blurred. Eh, eh, eh. I say Steve Francis before I say him. I wasn't really a big fan of him like that. I thought he was in the good tier. I didn't think he was in the great tier. But then again, I gotta remember something. The NBA will put anybody in the Hall of Fame, so you might be right. I don't know. That one is touchy. In case you didn't notice, I did not do anything about Puffy as far as the question tonight. I'm doing Aaron Rodgers, but next time I go live, we might tap into something we'll be talking about. I don't want to, I want to bring people that want to talk about. Oh, well, I appreciate you when I did that video because I was like, I know what they're doing, and it's the truth. Mahomes is in an era where he is going to get the attention, pro and con, but it's not his fault. But I did see somebody's top 10, one of them channels, they had Starbuck at 9, they had Mahomes at 10. I saw that mess. I haven't touched it. I was watching Stormy Rowe talk about it. What happened was she was really mean to the black dude. The white dude took the money and he been pimping too. That's the story I heard. It's always something with them Braxton sisters. Always. Stuff be just backwards and crazy. I guess Tamara's trying to get her J Lo on or Britney Spears on. I don't know. You know how them Hollywood relationships are. That stuff seems fake and fraudulent, so I wouldn't be surprised. Um, I did till she got involved with Baby Williams, and then I kind of looked at her sideways. I thought she and T and Babyface always had like a vibe, and she always messed with them football. Well, crazy too, because of Curtis Martin. Who was it? Curtis Martin, Carrie Lewis. She do, and of course, 30 years ago, you were too young to know. Back when the Dallas Mavericks sucked, and that's when Jason Kidd was crazy. That whole thing with her, Jimmy Jackson, Jamal Marshall was hilarious. They got threes. They were shooting threes there because they sure weren't doing nothing on the court. They sucked that year, but Tony Braxton, that was crazy. Jimmy Jackson acts real coy about it. Yeah, she was always Curtis Martin, my favorite Martian. I remember that when he's with the Patriots because that was one, and it was Carrie Lewis before she married for Men Condition. Who else was it? Surprisingly, her and Babyface. That was a surprise though. They had crazy chemistry. I know that he cloned her after him, but I'm trying to think who else was it though. Can't think. There was somebody else that was an athlete besides the three in Dallas. Jeter got around. He gave her that softball and the wine in the basket. Jeter was a mess for that though. Jeter cracked me up with that though. He ought to be ashamed. He said that was hilarious though. But anyway, yeah, she was quite. I forgot who else it was. She was bad, but she do. Most of them in the industry do though. Yeah, I just choose to think about Tia and her sister when I watch Sister Sister. I don't even want to think about the part of the stuff and crazy. Same thing with what's her butt who was on that stage with Usher, and she back with the baby daddy. I can't. What's her butt? She did the movie with Ice Cube, but yeah, some of the situation when they get grown, it don't be too good. It don't be too good at all. See, the thing about it is once you see how they act in the industry, they be wild and you can't quite get into it. It's not the same. Yep, it's always one. Always one. So yeah, I don't even know. So this Aaron Rodgers thing got seven. Let me see. 71 say yes. 29 say no. They beat the Patriots. Don't get excited. Come on now. Okay. More like it's 62 say yes. What happened with old whack Ted Cruz? What's up, sport page? Yeah, okay, I give you that part. Yeah, well, his coach does suck though. His coach is a meathead. Sorry, Ted, that's another meathead because Salah is. He did. And you want to know about Ted Cruz? He got called out by Trump. He got called out years ago. I forgot. Yeah, he read him the riot. You think he's back? I just think it because they beat New England. I don't get excited about beating up on no tomato can teams. I'm sorry, I don't. You got to do more than that for me before I go. Oh, he's back. When he takes a real pop and he has to really come back, then I'll say that. But beating the Patriots don't do nothing for my standards. But I like how Sporting Page said it. Winning regular season games and dissing his coach. That's very Aaron Rodgers. And then saying something snark and ghostly to the media and cryptic. That's him. I can't stand him now. What we got right here? 70% saying yes, so 30 say no. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I like the Aaron. You say back in full form. Well, attitude wise, I don't know about game wise. Again, they ain't play nobody. No one is gonna be scared of Jacoby Brissett. I like Brissett as a backup to the backup, but come on now. They got that quota game against Cincinnati. That'll buy him about 5 weeks. He ain't looking good. He looking like MVP. Looking good would mean like um, Garner Minshew for the Raiders. That looked good. Derek Carr looked like an MVP. Alvin Kamara looked like I'm like they either get drug tested. I mean, who are these guys? Derek Carr playing. Derek Carr looked like Drew Brees. His back foot. If you watch his back foot, I'm mixed with Eli Manning, as you know. Earl Thomas will get in as long as they don't P Diddy him for surviving Earl Thomas. He should get in if they don't use his off the field mess against him. His stuff is crazy, but he should get in. Asking me who should get in out of those two, Earl Thomas. Eli ain't no first time ballot HF. What's up, Canelo? It was Shaq. And Kobe didn't really step it up a notch into the second, third run of the two. AB ain't getting in. You can kiss that body goodbye. They gonna make him wait. If they made T.O. wait 20, 30 years, AB gonna have to wait till he about 70, 72. I ain't lying. You already know. Shaq was the better of the two, clear as day. First year he was unanimous MVP. He should have been MVP 2 or 3 of those years in the league too. And but Kobe had spurts, and then he came up late in the second year and the third year. But Shaq was still the better of the two. It wasn't. It got a little bit more, but Shaq was better of the two. Most people who are being honest is gonna tell you that Shaq was better of the two during the three-peat. And when they went to the fourth final, Shaq was still better. I never felt Kobe was better than Shaq during none of those 4 trips and 5 year runs. He got better the second though. Yep. Well, you already know why. Come on now, you know why. Well, the Saints should be good. There ain't but so many. They got to play Philly, so that's going to be an interesting test. That's going to be an interesting game. If they smash Philly, you know they're going to spank up on Washington and the Giants. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I can't say that because Shaq Phil wanted the team to be geared towards him. It should have been geared towards him, and he played great. When Kobe didn't really do anything that first year except in the playoffs against the Pacers. He came up big, but he wasn't the Kobe. He was unseasoned at that time. He didn't really kick in the gear to the second trip when they played Philly, but Shaq was still it was still Shaq roll. But Kobe was coming though. I can't see. I don't see how you can say the original LeBron because LeBron never had a dominance like Shaquille O'Neal. Never. Not like that. Yeah, Shaq was on another level. My favorite, well, the West Coast would probably be my second or third. My favorite is the K gun that the Bills ran, if you must know. Jim Kelly out the formation was incredible because you had no time, and that was all on rhythm. I don't know why more teams don't do it. If Mahomes ran a no huddle, he'd be scary, especially when you got wheels. You know, that's what Miami should do. The Wildcat was hilarious, but then it came and went. Yeah, Garnett got hurt. That was a big one. They didn't get to play the they didn't beat Orlando. It, it'll be interesting. It'll been interesting. I think if they had won another ring, people will look at that Celtics run a little bit differently. Well, that's what made Jerry Rice. That's what Jerry Rice became known as. Uh, the term was what was the term? Rack, run after catch. Jerry Rice coined that term. That's the Jerry Rice term right there. Now, You don't see no K gun. Warren Moon and them did great in Houston. I don't know why certain teams don't do it. Let me tell you the teams that did it. They had great quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers. These whack teams are out here now. Y'all need to run a hurry up offense, K gun. Y'all need to cover up your deficiencies. Why would you huddle up when you can't throw? You throwing picks and you suck. You should. Daniel Jones should run a K gun. They should run a no huddle to manipulate him. It's a good manipulator because then you don't look as sorry as you really are. The problem with that team though, um, in 2012, they couldn't score. If they because when they were holding teams, but they weren't a prolific scoring team. They may have spanked OKC, but they couldn't score points. That's why Miami was able to get back on them. There was a difference between you. That's what I'm saying. If you don't play, if you got a sucker quarterback, second, third team, and manipulate. You can manipulate. Yeah, he was done. KG was done. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know about the Caleb. Well, Caleb Stroud thing. Only thing is that he told him he's gonna be good. I remember Stroud saying that. I didn't pick up any more about it. He just told him to hang in there. The trade to where? What's he gonna get traded to? Canada? Get a passport? Come on now. Nobody's gonna touch that kid. And unless he can morph into a Kyrie Murray Junior Whopper, he gonna be like a Terrell Pryor. Yes, he can morph into Murray because people clown Kyrie Murray about playing video games, but Kyrie can play. He don't read the field good. I saw a couple picks he threw. He don't read the field good. That way he need. He ain't built for the NFL. If you want some jokes and one liners, come here to this live stream. I got liners for you. That's what he don't think he gonna request is a passport. He can probably get Puffy's passport. Tell you gotta put it to use. You ain't gonna get no ain't nobody gonna touch him. I have to. It's embarrassing. You tell me how embarrassing you are watching these games. It is embarrassing. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I'm put a bag over my head with some of these teams. So learn from Doug Flutie. Manipulate the field. Shorten the field up. Stop playing the field like you make the field look long, but shorten it up. Short passes to the outs. Dink and dunk. Pitch and catch. Take a cue from Lamar Jackson. Because Lamar just did sandlot plays, manipulated. You gotta figure it out. Look at Kyler Murray. That's what I would tell Bryce Young. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. A lot of these cats shouldn't even be holding clipboards. They shouldn't even be ball. They shouldn't even be able in the stands throwing beer. May break some teeth. I mean, it's just bad. It's some bad quarterbacking. I know when Gunnar Mishaw with the Raiders, he's got a starting job. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, he's a decent backup, but he's starting for the Raiders. Are you kidding me? Daniel Jones is horrible. That's what I'm saying. If you know how to do touch passes, you can make it. That's why Kirk Cousins getting paid. Kirk Cousins figured it out. He's got the Ryan Fitzpatrick down to a science. Yeah. Well, Carler looks scary. This is probably the best he's looked. And if it wasn't for Derek Carr, Kyler Murray would be your front second runner for MVP in the NFL. It's early in the NFC, but I'm just telling you, that's how good he look. Because touch passes is Josh Allen's kryptonite. He loves to throw the long heave and miss his guy. He does the Jimmy Garoppolo too much. Gotta understand your strength. It's when I say this about the difference between Mahomes and Josh Allen, it's like Tiger Woods and Phil Nicholson. What was Phil Nicholson's kryptonite? Short, not the long, the short game. That's how Tiger was getting over everybody. And it's just those little simple things. While one guy has a handful of rings, the other guy is always sitting at home with the remote control. Gotta learn how to play smart and keep it simple. Learn how to, you know, take something off the rock, you'll be okay. So that's all. Ego, I'm saying. Yeah, because that's dominance. You look at a role model, you look at somebody and you think to yourself, the difference between this guy is he can do both. It ain't always pretty, but he knows what to do. The other guy is right there, but he misses it. And any other era, Phil Nicholson is considered an all time great with his 5 majors. But Tiger got 14, 15, got 15. But he could have had about 4 or 5 more. Phil couldn't finish. Yeah, because he doesn't. He tries to play hero ball. He gets caught doing that Russell Westbrook, trying to run over everybody, hit everything. Tough guy, flexing. I like when they go into James Cook. I think they running better. They gotta simplify their game. That's where they're gonna be more lethal. When he gets in trouble is when he starts to fall in love that he can just throw that ball and make it happen. Gets it in his mind. Sometimes you look in and see the ocean, but it's really a bathtub. See, you gotta learn that hey, that that ocean is really a bathtub. So that's the problem that I see with him. Yeah, that's what people like. I mean, there's room for that, but your hero ball. I can make analogies about stuff a whole lot of. I make it like about music artists, because one artist gets the right songs, the other artist, yep, it's true. You thinking you got an ocean, it's a bathtub, and then the reality is that water don't hit like that. What you want me to say about that, Ted? I'm Mike Hawk. Remind me about Mike Hawk. Ted, I can't say nothing about Pittsburgh. They ain't played nobody. The Tomlin's defense beat Atlanta. They played smart, low key, smash mouth football, and then they just got through beating. Who they just beat? Denver. Come on now. What am I supposed to do with that? Atlanta and Denver. Oh wow. Dan Reeves turned over in his grave, and literally. I mean, come on now. I can't do nothing with that. Mike Hawk. I don't recall. Jog the memory. So sometimes, basically, my metaphor was that you think it's bigger than what it is. He doing good. He doing good. As long as he don't get cute. No Diddy. No Diddy. Don't get out there and do anything stupid. As long as he don't throw bad picks, they'll be okay. That's when he starts trying to do too much that gets his butt in trouble. You know what I'm talking about with Baker. He's got a very intelligent coach and a veteran team. Just play your part. Don't do too much. You'll be all right. You know where he gets in trouble because he always think he got to overdo it. You know, he's like that dude. He'd be like Chris Brown. If Chris Brown ever pulls something in his back trying to do a hand sprint, one step too many, and your butt falls on a banana peel, and then you're like, oh, get the gurney out. No, don't do too much. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Sport and pay. That's true. Well, it's not now, but he will. I don't know what you talking about, Peter back. I don't know what this is. He does too much when he throws to. I am trying to turn the volume up. Everybody else can hear me okay, so it all depends. Trying to. So I still got about 25 minutes before I go. 71% saying yes to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron got some. I did a video about it, and well, everybody else does it. She's the Wheel of Fortune of. I don't know who that is, and she. I don't know who she's gonna appeal for because she needs some black men that's not really supporting her. So I don't know what she gonna do. She can use all the accents and tones she wants. Can you hear me? What's up, Jay? What's up, JJ? Can you hear me? Got my sound up. What's up, JJ? Glad to see you. Glad you came on through. Welcome aboard. But anyway, like I said with her, she what am I you know what, Ted? I'm gonna use that as a story because that's gonna be a clown moment there. Thank you. You gave me a good topic for tomorrow. She can't be that dumb. Well, and Puffy was in there. Remember he was on death row. Remember? Mm. She better shut up before she gets in trouble for something. No, whatchamacallit did win. Viola Davis. Viola won for the help, and who else did? Viola. They gave Angela Bassett a token one. Oh, Viola. You know you got to play a maid or Precious. Remember Monique? They got him. He's best for his time, but you can debate him and Aaron Judge. He's best for his time. They mad because Denzel is doing something that he's not supposed to be doing. That's what that's about. That's got nothing to do, Denzel is doing things that you're not supposed to do, and Denzel is defining time with it too. I think that if I'm gonna say it like this, the best way I know how, if Michael B. Jordan actually put his six pack towards acting chops and vulnerability, he'd probably be bigger. I think that's what's hurting him. That's why Denzel can do it. She been that way. She been struck by chords. I don't pay her too much. Well, Shohei has got people shook because he was pitching and hitting and stuff. But if he ends up winning a ring, then it'll be interesting. I think him and Aaron Judge is going to be a battle that people want to see. But he's a compelling figure, though. He is compelling. I like to watch him play. Appreciate everybody coming through tonight too. Appreciate hit the like, subscribe, and also if anybody want to make a donation, feel free. I welcome membership, all that. So thank you for everybody that's coming through. It's coming into form tonight. It's looking good. Got 19 votes so far. 63 say yes, 47 say no. I heard about that. I heard about that. I didn't really touch it. They're gonna get that money off of him though. Him and Tyrese gonna be in, be able to like do a duet. I don't know how epic it's gonna be because I'm not really feeling it like that because I don't necessarily think that it's romanticized because of two players, but I don't feel like are they necessarily the two best teams? Because the Padres are playing pretty good, and the Phillies got something to say. The AL Central is compelling. Yes, I want the Dodgers and the Yankees to go, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't see other things happening because Baltimore's interesting too. Yeah, he ain't where he was, but he's not that deep of an actor. He's kind of like a Junior Whopper, Hill Harper type, and he don't really have the depth and the chops. The eyes would have probably put him in something, but I don't know where he can put him in. I just don't. I don't. Because you know Hollywood's about gimmicks and images and stuff, and he might have to get on do something strange for the change. Get to OnlyFans. I don't know. He ain't really because he wasn't that dude no way. Soto is definitely. Dwayne Wade, you know I'm a Miami Heat fan. You know that's not even up for the question here. You haven't been watching my videos. You ain't paid me no attention. Anybody knows I'm a big D Wade fan. Very few people I'm gonna take over D Wade. I like Paul Pierce a lot, but Paul Pierce been running his gums. And, I like Paul Pierce. He is kind of yeah, but the problem with Jesse, I give you that, but the problem is this: you can't be doing BET type shows or no not have the bag when they come and they drain you. You know what I mean? You gotta have a happy medium. And I hope you don't have to end up in them Tyler Perry movies. That's what I'm gonna say about that. I hope not. You better have something going for you. I heard what he said, and I didn't disagree, but I also know, yeah, I like Paul Pierce a lot. I think Paul Pierce is one of the greatest Celtics. I'd say the bottom in the 10. But Dwayne Wade was a leader. Dwayne Wade, it was a different level. We don't sit around and debate Paul Pierce in that capacity. He did, and he was clutch. See, here's an interesting thing about PP. He's clutch and tough. But no, I don't mind. You know, if you know me, separate Dwayne Wade on the court from his personal. Okay, no ditties. It's a different ball game off the court. But I do like his business savvy though. He's trying to get some ownership. Yeah, it is. It's a difference. And a tier above is a tier above. But Paul Pierce does think of himself like that. I like Pierce a lot. Don't get it twisted. 55, yes, 45, no. Uh-oh, this starting to get heated now. Uh-oh. That's true. I'll give you that. Because he got that old man's at the playground shot. All he got to do is get hot for a moment. He can D up too. I call it if you watch Sanford Son, I call it the Grady Wilson. Got that old man beard. Say, come here, young boy. Give me your lunch money. And will shoot them ugly turnarounds on you and hurt your feelings and block your stuff. Pat you down like he 5-0. Popcorn probably. And that's not really junk anymore. Not back in the day I did. But I gave up so much stuff. So I really don't. But that's a funny question. What about yourself? I really don't. I never really get asked that no more. Because these days I do some. I'm been an exercise junkie, so I don't really get down. There's cookies once in a while, but they're picky. I like that skinny pop. That got me addicted. I had to go to a 12-step program for skinny pop. I am not gonna lie. Love that popcorn. Lose my mind over it. Just lose my mind over that. Used to love Cracker Jacks like that. I don't mess with candy no more. I like certain cookies, veggie burgers, of course. My veggie burgers, the Boca, and I like I got some good vegetarian burgers that I like. I do when I season them up. When I do eat them, but I don't mess with junk food no more. No. Oh, okay, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, I can understand. I have veggie cheeseburgers. I had the one that Justin Fields used to advertise in his commercials. I had those veggie burgers. I like them with cheese. understand, Ted. I get it. There are certain things that only in, that you take on that's I understand. Yeah, I love them. Well, I'll be in my basketball mood come October 1st. I can tell you more. What they need though, they got it. They got Alex Caruso. That's gonna be big. Now they don't have no distraction. They ain't gotta worry about all those Harry Style fans being violated, so they'll be all right. I threw that one in there. Because you know who is gone from there. And he was a distraction. And it messed with them as the season went on. I just got through saying that's what messed up. Yeah, it's the best of both worlds, I guess. I don't quite understand that logic. When I started messing with veggie burgers, I didn't want no beef. Yeah, well, that's what happened to OKC. I really believe if it wasn't for the distraction for OKC, they may have done something. They were flat against Dallas, but they didn't have a third option. And whatchamacallit, yeah, because it was hurting Chad in the post. It was only Shane him. Oh boy couldn't carry his weight, and it messed with him. They were a nice young team, but they needed another option, and that was a distraction. I could tell. And plus, I bet you how much you want to bet. Adam Silver says, if y'all go to the finals, I am not going to give you that trophy. So you got to get rid of him. If you ever want me to hold a trophy on TV, you got to get rid of him. I bet you cash money. So I'm just saying. I don't know about that. It's a certain quality to it, but I wouldn't say. I don't care if Paul Feinbein cursed out his minister. He's an idiot. Tired of him. I'm tired of Paul Feinbein. I don't even know why I know he's got some clout on there. I'm pulling for Dion to do well. I don't like these cats they have on these shows that are known haters and distractors, and they say stuff, and okay, they are a distraction. That's all. It's kind of like him and Wendy are like this. They get paid to just go behind what exactly? That's what you. This is what we're doing for journalism on ESPN. This is what we do. We hire windbags to be hating or saying stuff, and what? Just like when they had Mel Kiper. Like, come on now. Most of them so-called analysts are comical. They're comedians, comical. So 24 votes now. I want the Ravens to win. I hope they. I want to see where's Ted at. I'm gonna do like Steve. They put the camera on me. That's what I want to see. Ted know what I'm talking about. Put the camera on me. When Lamar's running them down, I want him to be looking up that board. Well, Woj got into it because that's what the NBA has become. That's what happened. Well, that's what the NBA has become. It has become like a T section. I mean, it's not like they talk about the elite, they talk about a handful. I like Bucher because I see Oach will be trying to talk with him. I'll be cracking up, I'll be cringing. I said, you can't keep up no Bucher. You can't. You can't keep up with Bukes. But see, they don't care. But that's why I got Kendrick Perkins and people like that got on the show. Well, you gotta look at what they got. They start that crying already. So it's coming on nicely right now. Very impressive. Appreciate everybody coming through tonight. It's good. things. See what's up. Bag's looking good tonight. It was good. I hadn't done a Friday night in a long time, so glad to see people coming through. Mhm. Yeah, well, that wasn't a surprise. They know Brett Favre should be locked up next to Puffy. Come on now, that's embarrassing. And I'm glad Shannon got that because Brett Favre's trying to distract. I'll do a video about that tomorrow. It was a joke. I'm not that big on Mike Greenberg. He's annoying. He kind of annoys me. Yeah, well, Brett Favre, because no one talks about Brett Favre, because he gonna fool around and be a politician. Watch, they protecting him. He's a good example of why I don't why what I say, the stuff I say. It's double standards. That scheme in Mississippi was embarrassing, just embarrassing. And I'm not big on Shannon Sharp all that, but I'm just saying because he's gonna be a politician. I'm trying to tell you what I see. I did that already. I did the male video. He is a thug. Good old boy. That's why I say politician. Be your next JD Vance. I already see the writing on the wall. They want him the way they want him. I don't make it up. You see for yourself. 48 says no, 52 says yes. That's coming down. Because Belichick trying to get a job. That's what's up. He wants to break Schuler's record. That's what's up. And see, he has to act like, well, there's two sides to him. I heard that he was a bit different, but he is acting because he blew it. I'm trying to. I'm gonna go on just a little bit because I gotta work on my thing. I got about 10 more minutes before I go, so you can hear me though. Belichick can articulate on TV. He's entertaining. Well, he wants to break Schuler record, and he thought Robert Kraft was gonna let him sit there for another 15 years and win 3 games every year. Matt Geis is something else. They had him left to right, but apparently, well, it's like Paul Mooney says, complexion for the protection. Because Matt Geis's situation was very similar to R. Kelly. If you don't know, you gotta look it up. Oh, Shula never cared for Belichick. He think they cheated. I remember. Shula like he was ready to give him the Will Smith two-piece too. Hmm. I have never talked about that till you brought that up, but I do remember. But I've never brought that. I've never had anyone but you bring that up. So appreciate you for bringing it up. No one has ever came at me about that. Well, Shula was feisty and he was a competitive man. And Shula did stuff before it was fashionable. I mean, he took David Woodley to a Super Bowl, who was undrafted, went with Marino. I mean, Shula was doing stuff that he was ahead of his time with the multiple different quarterbacks and stuff. Before Joe Gibbs won those rings, Shula did. He was for Jimmy, and it backfired too. It backfired. They did get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the running back, and he didn't have no sky hook. He was he was getting stuffed at the line. He tried to make Dan Marino into a pocket to a, and he tried to he's devoid all his hap out of it. He would be considered underrated in terms of a six man, but some of it's his own undoing. He just didn't play in the right system. Talent for his handles, and but sometimes you got to step up your game. He was a guy who scored a lot of points and had a lot of ooh moments, but didn't have those moments. Well, Andre Franklin didn't really do it, and neither did Tony Nathan. I go back to Miami back then. I already answered about Jamal Crawford. He was kind of about where he was. I just don't think he had. He came against some better teams. The Bills got in the way. I don't know if I call Marino a choker, because if as a matter of fact, some people still got him as one of the six or seven greatest quarterbacks ever. So how's that a choker? I mean, he still gets love, and I will make the argument still one of the greatest arm releases I've ever seen. Top three or four arm releases I ever seen, and he kind of had the Brad Darty Michael Jordan thing too, in that no one knew how good he was when he got to the pros. Because at Pitt he looked good, but they didn't see that in the NFL. So, well, I can watch it. I might, but it doesn't take away from what they did. Well, he went that low because he was a little chunky and had that curl, and I don't think no one saw that coming. Yeah, I can watch it. I did watch it. So I don't like the inside jokes. I saw it. 50. Ti got an interesting cadence, but Ti didn't really work on his thing. I like his production more than I actually like a lot of stuff he did. But he could rap, but 50 connected better. I'm not big on either one of them. They good hustlers though, and they both in the game for different things. But I'm not that big on either one of them. But 50 is still taking his music serious. That's the thing. He still can do it, but I'm not big on either one of them. No, I was sad and disappointed, but I ain't hate him though. I can't hate on it. It's sad, but that's not the reason why they lost that game. They coached a great game that they took out the control. The Bills had Herb offense, but the Giants utilized possession real well. Hostetler played out his mind. O.J. Anderson played good. They did the little things. It was nickel and dime, wore you down. You had to hurry up. You didn't have the luxury. They took them out their game. That's what happened. It was a textbook style of we play ugly, and this is how we win. That's what you were able to do back then. That's why 2019 games like that play ugly. Yeah, O.J. Anderson and Hostetler made some nice big plays. Well, Ti didn't really push his career, so yeah, it is. You can make that case. Use how you beat a high powered or high tuned offense, and you gotta get physical with them. Marino was big back then. You know, I couldn't stand him personally, but as a Bills fan, but I got respect for the cat's skills. I still one of the quickest releases I ever seen. I mean, Marino was something else. He was very competitive, and you know, it's just that the timing wasn't there. That's all. Because hey, he won one Super Bowl. They probably have him about top 3 or 4 ever, easily. That's how good he was. I mean, he was something else. You mean Dave Craig? The Bills should win the AFC East. I'm not sold on no Jets. I think the Bills are. It's just they got this slurp fest for Aaron Rodgers. You mean Dave Craig? That's the only Craig I know with the Seahawks was Dave Craig, and Dave Craig was a middle of the road second tier quarterback. He won some, he lost some, and he was indifferent to others. The Bills, the Bills, the Bills will win the AFC East. I'm never gonna say anything else. Wise. I'm not sold on other teams. Before people start throwing the Jets down my throat. No. You give the Bills a chance to play Tennessee and New England, they'll look great too. Come on now. It was great if you were no, you don't have a fan in the game. It wasn't great if you're an Eagles fan. And the way they lost was sad for them. So people keep on hitting the likes and shares. Appreciate it. Yeah, he looked good. He looked good. But I don't get too excited. He just do what he's supposed to do. He gets a pass for being anywhere from good to mediocre. I don't understand it. I'm not feeling Kirk Cousins like that, but I get it though. 99. Talent wise, it's 04, but 99 because they finished and did things like they're supposed to. Talent wise was 04. 98 was actually the better one though. They could do no wrong in 98. Because Caleb is so well. I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. Strauss did talk to him. I'm not gonna make a big deal, but Caleb got he's gonna get growing pains. He's learning what Justin Fields did because their offensive line sucks. Chicago never knows anything about offense, and he gonna have a lot of hurt feelings. You sound just like Tom Brady with that one. I concur, especially when you don't have no expectations. No one sees Atlanta doing nothing, so why would you risk him? Well, welcome to the NFL. I've heard that story said a lot. Basketball players said it too. Heard that said a lot. I'm not used to. Uh, you gotta get used to it. It's gonna happen. A lot of cats get into the pros and they're not used to a lot of stuff. Because once cats start getting them bag and they attitude changes, money changes. You know, it's a difference. It's not the same. College and the pros is not the same. 50% six say yes, 44 say no. Good mix match with Aaron Rodgers. I like that. Anyone else? I know. Thank you for the 10 likes. Appreciate that. That's a wonderful night getting 10 likes. I appreciate that. Thank you for the audience for hitting up 10 likes. Thank you. He does. Well, Stephen A. Surviving Stephen A. will only come when he gets says or does the wrong thing. That might come, that might not. I don't know. I don't know. He gets on my nerves at watching him talk because he's not even really the same analyst he was. But he was lucky Shannon Sharp was available. But all he's doing now is cloud chasing. He ain't even doing nothing. Thank you, Ted. Yes, it is. I've been adding more with short streams, getting more membership, more donations. People are coming through, and I appreciate you always being there. And I think it's grown because with that's a wide range of topics. Videos consist of a lot of different topics. Obviously, I hit on the hot spot topics, but I don't do anything for clicks and views. I say it from the point of view. There's a difference. Not about clicks and views, but from my point of view. I'm not gonna sit there and say, "Oh, Puffy got," I'm not bad mouthing. I'm putting it in the context. Yeah, because I wanted to put an emphasis about when I talking about Mahomes. I wanted to tell the history. I remember 40 years ago when Warren Moon came into the NFL, there weren't that many black quarterbacks. And until Doug Williams went and Randall Cunningham, I want to bring it up. So when I talk about it, I can pivot to what's happened in the last 15 years. If you are a kid that's the last 15, say you about 20, you got to be about 24, 25. You didn't see more black quarterbacks. You weren't around the last 30. It was few and far in between. So I wanted to talk about those things, but put it in a modern way of doing it too. Yeah, well, Devin George was a head case, very athletic dude. I thought he was his skill set was one way, but his mindset was another. Could have been a bit more with him because he was an athletic cat. Oh yeah, he understands because he's in the Tiger Woods situation. That's what he reminded me of. With a Steph Curry flurry and a Jordan type of mindset, but he understands what he's doing. Oh yeah, he's aware of the Tiger Woods situation for sure. Or it's the Serena Venus wins the Serena thing too. He know, he know. Streets is watching. Thank you for that gift. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Always glad to see new members coming on board. Welcome aboard. And I will be doing a more members type of videos. Like I said, I'm taking requests. Got some stuff lined up, so it's gonna get even better once we get into for my basketball heads who can't wait for me to talk more hoops. We got football, which gets me more hype, but got more coming through. Don't worry. Don't worry. We cover a wide range up in here, so I'm not limited. I got my own way of doing it. So yeah, I'm doing that because I want to see what kind of buzz I get, and sometimes people rather have those kind of posts, so it's more intimate at your discretion. Different things I try. Appreciate your sporting page. Appreciate you. I always appreciate that. Spreading the word and spreading the help. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna do more of those polls. I get inspired. 50, 40, 90. Come on, that's very few. Any turkey now can get 50 saves. That's almost like getting a triple double in the NBA or scoring 40, 50 points now. It's lost its luster. Because Trevor Hoffman was the one at that when no one looked at his saves the same as Rivera. And that's not saying he sucked, but the Padres never were a threat. Guy having a 50, 40, 90 is still impressive. Curry, Durant, Nash, that's still impressive. There's not a lot of guys who can do that. 50 saves is a lot more common now because you got 15 different relief pitches. Guys are rolling up numbers like it ain't nothing. So it's watered the game down. I mean, you know, well, but what I'm saying is you got a chunk of guys who get saves where it has been distorted. That's the part I'm getting at. But a 50-40 is still More impressive to me is a Triple Crown. I respect the 50, 40, 90 big time, but Triple Crown is, that's how I look at it. The rarity is tougher because you got to be at a special type of specimen. I seen some guys get 50, 40, 90, but the very few, but cats doing a Triple Crown, it was talked about, but it wasn't made more about because it was a different time, but it was talked about. He didn't get really talked about like that. Yeah, it's wild. It was. Cabrera was a bad boy. Now, the when Vanessa used to come to the game, she used to have her hat on like this. Funny, I got my hat on tonight so I can do how Vanessa Bryant was. I remember watching the game. She used to be like that. Hat was over the eye. Everybody knew they didn't like her because of her racial identity. It wasn't so much about her age; it was her identity. Oh yeah, I remember the cameraman when they did it too, because they said go Cobra, because she would have the hat over the eye. I don't know if there was a nod to Aaliyah or not. Just saying. Yeah, it didn't really make the big rounds. She met on the video shoot with him and Brian McKnight. I remember, because that's when him and Brandy were linking. But it was a different time. But remember something, Kobe, just like all the entertainers, he didn't really appreciate that. Kobe wasn't a threat, so he had a pass. Oh, I remember too when she would be at the games. The cameraman would catch her, but the hat would be over the eye. She used to rock a white hat. You can look it up on YouTube. They should have them videos. I remember because every time I saw, I said, "What's she doing?" It was like real covered. She did. Well, you know what? If you get on national TV and the cat's up there talking about, "I'm sorry, I ain't mean this," and put a $4 million house on her finger, that means you got access to. She did. She knew what she was doing. She did. I know she did. Because Kobe was trying to bounce from her twice. It was on Entertainment Tonight. If you look it up in 2010, it was one of those 2011. They were going to split. But like Johnny Taylor said, it's cheaper to keep her. They put him through the ringer only because of what went down. They didn't really go at it about Vanessa though. They had a it was pretty wild. Like I said before, they broke up a couple of times. They ever break up that time before the whole thing went down in Colorado. But it was cheaper to keep her. I'm gonna keep saying Johnny Taylor. The song says cheaper to keep her. Listen to the words, listen to the song. That's the Kobe Bryant song. They were headed down twice. Just saying. That was a different time too. 57 says yes, 43 says what. I still pretty close. I really do believe some people are split on Aaron Rodgers. But beating the Patriots got people looking at him different. He ain't look all he did enough against Tennessee, but no, you're right, Ted. I ain't arguing with you. But I do believe her and her feelings about what happened after his, you know, she don't want to. Well, he had gotten himself over his head, and he went there and talked about I should have done like Shaq and paid him money. He made himself look bad. I had a buddy ask me about that time, and I can't even dispute it because Kobe did look like he was through the ringer. I remember when he won the award at Nickelodeon, Nick for Kids. He had the Dr. King shirt on. You can look it up. It's on the YouTube. They cut him off at the end though when he was comparing himself. That was the PR at work. They had the PR at work, just like that lawyer they had for him. Uh, he was yes. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he crossed over and he did try to be Mr. Corporate Pitch Man, especially with that nasty Nutella peanut butter and McDonald's. He was doing everything. Shaq was always, as much as I love him as a player, I hold him in high regards. He was petty and he wanted a certain type. But the problem was they didn't have the right coach for him. That was the main problem. Orlando looked like a country bumpkin farm. That's why Jerry West was able to go up there and get him out to LA. He told him, said, leave these Billy Bob boys alone, come out to the west side and get up out of here. And he did. I'm gonna tell it 100 with that. I understood what Jerry West was slick, but it wasn't that slick. Told Shaq, you could stay here and be on play old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and not win nothing, or win something and it don't mean nothing. Come out here to LA, you'll be forever enshrined. That's what happened. That's the facts. Just saying. Because going to the finals in Miami and going to the finals in Orlando is like worlds apart. Yeah, I gotta get this turkey off of here. I don't know who that is. They gotta go because he wouldn't play go along, get along, and Jeannie is like that, and she carries that venom. That's what she is. He changed the course of basketball. So when you asked me that question out of him and Kobe, do you answered your own question? And those numbers, that's a dominant performer. Scary part is if he had probably would have made probably like probably had made like about two or three more free throws, he probably would have been averaging 40. He was scary. That's how scary he was. Well, they lost to Utah was a better team, and that came to coaching too. Jerry Sloan could coach. They were stuck with Dale Harris and Kurt Rambis. It comes down to the chemistry. They do try to rewrite history. Tag didn't do nothing, but Carmelo and Stockton were. They had enough experience and they were able to utilize their strengths. The Lakers, even though they had Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Shaq, and Kobe, Kobe wasn't Kobe. He was bare bone and green. Van Exel was streaky, played a certain way. Got to have components and pieces. That's why when Phil Jackson comes along, he trimmed the fat and brought Ron Harper, Horace Grant, all that. Yeah, it's embarrassing what the Lakers got. But yeah. But remember, numbers don't mean nothing if you ain't putting it to execution. And Shaq was doing that, but he wasn't putting it through. Because Eddie was not an offensive force. He was better defense. And Van Exel was streaky. They played what I call, I liked Eddie a lot. But his offensive game never matched the half of his defense. He was good on defense. His offense was janky. Van did okay in Dallas, but he just kind of was a guy who was a lot of show. I don't agree with that for the simple fact he didn't have the right coach. I think you got to assemble the right pieces. It's still putting pieces. Well, they got to the finals, and so though they didn't win, they still was with him. But you gotta put the right cast around. Can't do it all by itself. I don't know. Jerry West elevated Kobe. Kobe got better over time, and they brought Phil in for structure. I wouldn't compare Shaq and Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers underachieved in a division that he had access to, and he didn't reach the heights of Shaquille O'Neal. So I can't say that. He got on league MVPs, but he didn't come through NFC Championship games. I can't say that. Well, he was still fresh and green when he did that in 2000 finals, but he did have a big game five. He came up big, but he was still young. Well, I still look at it that he got to the finals. I still was impressed that Orlando did. They were a young team, but they didn't have the right coaching. They didn't have a blueprint for the future. And Shaq was being used for his athleticism, not for his mental moxie. That's all I'm saying. I am impressed when teams get to somewhere they're not supposed to, because no one is guaranteed they're gonna go to a finals. I can name you a lot of great players, so I'm just saying. Yeah, Nick wasn't the same, and it happens. That pressure be real. He did. No, Nick was good. I'm not gonna say that Nick was good. Nick just pressure. Nick was good. Nick was good, and could have probably been better. But again, it depends on the circumstances, the situations. I like Nick okay. I'm not gonna call Nick trash. Nick was good. Just had missed four free throws. That's all. And that was it. Them free throws. But it was more than that. Houston was a better team. Sometimes you get Rudy Tomjanovich could coach. You got to have coaching. You got to have pieces in place. He was young. Well, LeBron would have talked to the media. I think at the time that him and Penny, that Penny wasn't showing an attitude, because if you look like you coming across kind of passive, he will run you, and you got to win his respect. Nick didn't. Nick did. Oh, Nick had a good career. He missed those free throws, but I'm not gonna sit here and have a Nick Anderson mismatch. I mean, you know, I didn't always agree with Shaq. I said this before and again. I might hold him in high regard as a player. I don't agree with a lot of his antics and things he did. So I don't condone that. But Kobe did come up big in Game Five. He had one of his better games. He was young and green at the time. He was not the guy that he matured and became. And that came with time. He had to bulk up his body. He had to bulk up his mind. He had to get his cadence, his feet up under him. He did stuff I didn't care for, but the man still came up big. So I don't have a problem with him getting mad about his contract here. I mean, he gave the man three straight finals and chips, so that more than paid for his. You know, he you know he and they went to four finals and five. He did four finals, 8 years, three straight rings, and was in the Western Conference. So league MVP, All Stars. Oh, with Orlando, I think he knew the writing was on the wall. They weren't going to put a squad around him. Jerry West came and got him. He had to be more professional because that was going to be pretty much as high as it was going to get. You're on the big stage, so if you mess this up, your behind's going to get to Memphis, or you're going to be in Toronto, or you're going to have you in Sacramento. So you be making that Chris Webber face like, oh my God. So he had to bring it, and he did. He did. But I understood where he was coming from. I But sometimes he just had, he had sophomore behavior. I'm not gonna justify and dignify, but he came up big. That's the difference between him and LeBron. He was petty, but he did it openly. He didn't fake it about it was because the difference between Shaq and LeBron is Shaq went and got his business straight. LeBron's always trying to orchestrate and tap this and touch this and move this and move that, and it doesn't seem genuine. That's why people are having a hard time with him. He's had way more to work with than LeBron did. I mean, than Shaq did. You let Shaq have that. It's a different situation. He was bad in '04. I'm not gonna argue against that. I don't want to get into no match about LeBron and Kobe about talking about that because I want to get back. We were talking about football, and I don't want to keep getting into this about this. I mean, the bottom line, the careers ended as they did, and things are what they were. So, but anyway, I'm not gonna beat down what's up. 55, 45. 55 saying yes to Aaron Rodgers, 45 saying no. So, okay, pretty good. I don't know how the whole thing got with LeBron and Kobe, and I'm not really trying to do that. But I am glad to see that there's a lot of action going on tonight. Appreciate everybody that came through. Because Jordan was held to higher standards. That's why. He didn't contain Shaq. 26 and 14 is not containing. What happened was the problem was is that when Shaq put the Brock out for the double teams, D Fish couldn't hit a bull in the behind. Rick Fox couldn't swirl his hair and get loose. Karl Malone got old, and Gary Payton was getting ate up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner by Chauncey Billups. So, well, if that's a decline, I hate to think what being in your peak is like. So he still was bringing it. Bottom line was, you know, he didn't. I don't know about spanking him. D Wade got hurt. What they did against Detroit, what the Pistons did a good job is that they didn't. They kept Caron Butler. They not Caron Butler, but they kept the other Heats from getting involved. Shaq, D Wade, they pretty much held bay with the others. That's the only reason. Yep. Not hating on defense. They were up. They looked old against Detroit. Tayshaun Prince, they look old. They couldn't. They were not making shots. They looked like on their bench was getting outplayed. Lindsey Hunter come off the bench. They didn't have an answer for the Pistons. They had more energy. Rasheed Wallace was the X factor because top front of the line, they were giving them the blues. They made them look old. That's what it was. Not hating on them at all because D Fish is one of the most important Lakers ever for his contributions. Rick Fox is underappreciated for his defense, period. But they were no match for those Pistons in that finals. They looked old. Yeah, I seen her. He played great. Well, again, he didn't hit the boards probably strong enough, but that was a winnable series. They didn't get the job done. I don't know. I got to think about who was Shaq's best team of all time, but Wade was up there though. Wade was one of the best superstar sidekick guys that play. I don't know about. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm stumped on that one. I got to come back on that one. I don't know. The Heat could have won that '05. There was injuries to Shaq and D Wade. We'll never know. But I don't think the Heat had a legit third option. He was playing. He played out his mind. He played out his mind, and that and you could make the case he should have got the MVP in 2009, 2010, 2009. He 30 points. He did the same numbers as Steph Curry without being a natural 3-point shooter. So it all depends. Everybody's got different agendas and rules for who and what. So they loved him, but the rest love all the superstars. I did see that. I liked what he said about when he was in LA before Kobe because he was a big Laker fan. To me, I knew the Pistons were going to pretty much win the series when that block against Reggie Miller. That was the turning point of they getting Rasheed Wallace from Atlanta and that Tayshaun block on Reggie. That was it for me. So I like Tayshaun. He could defend. He knew how to use his. He used himself really well. So had they've gotten D Wade or Carmelo Anthony, who knows how long that run would have been. Well, he understood how to coach talent, Shaq and D Wade, and he did what he's supposed to do. So Pat Riley's a coach's coach. You know what I'm saying? He ain't about the he gets in the business, and once he gets in the business, it's like you got to bring it. He came down with Shaq and D Wade to win a ring. He did what Van Gundy couldn't do. I like staying Van Gundy, but there's tears to this. That's what I was talking about with Sean McDermott and the Bills and Josh. You take for granted ego. You got to have a guy who knows how to coach ego. That's the difference. He is stubborn his own way. Larry Brown is hard on his plug guards, but he got results. But he can be, but he took the same blueprint. Uh, he took the same blueprint from when Philly went to what he did to Detroit. It just didn't work in New York though. Wade was something else. Wade is one of the most underappreciated players ever because his window from '06 to 2010, he was till 2011 he was still a top 5 player. He just never got his due. Some of it's because of Shaq, some of it's because of Riley. It was different things. He was, and he was tough on his guards. That's why him and Iverson got into it. He got into it with Chauncey. But they got better. Chauncey played his best ball with him. Iverson was a league MVP. So what you want me to say? Larry Brown knew a thing or two. I'm not gonna argue against Shaq not making. He made excuses and he did. But the difference I think between him and LeBron is he dominated. That's the difference. That's true. Canelo, that's true about D Wade. The difference is that when Shaq dominated, he dominated. I don't have a blueprint of LeBron dominating like Shaquille O'Neal. And LeBron went to many finals in a row. He didn't win many in a row. And he had way more stacked situations than Shaq ever had. It's true. You stay fundamental, you be all right. That's what Greg Popovich did that to Tim Duncan. So no, no one's saying that. Everybody loses, but it's a lot of structure to how it is. It's a tough game because it's not the way you think it is. Allen Iverson thought he was going to be in the finals every year, and he went to one finals. It's a lot more goes on in the game. So he did, he did. I got to get ready to go eat because I've been on here for an hour and a half. I stay about probably stayed about 30 minutes more, but I'm this is powerful. Let me get a okay. Give me a one if you want me to come back tomorrow night. Throw up a one if you want me to come up tomorrow night. Throw a one up. People can be critical who they want. I'm not going. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow night. Probably about okay. About the same time I came up tonight. I'm gonna get all my systems going. Gotta go eat. But I appreciate this was getting good. And Canelo, come on back too. Entertaining, so come on back. We will. We will. All right. I'll be back tomorrow then. I'll make an exception tomorrow night. Appreciate this. It's been much respect. Appreciate all the words. We got fired up in here. I like that though. I don't mind. I like it. We're gonna do it. Appreciate everybody that came through. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay cool, stay calm. I'll see you in 24. I'm out. Peace.